going on, guys? Welcome back, baby. We're here in the new studio.
4-0 studio.
He's got the audio on his computer on. We're back, guys. This is a set of Going Flawless. We're here. We got a room edition here at the 4-0 studios, and the new set.
Thank you to 410 Rogue for moving out your mom's house and letting us move on in, baby. Let's go.
Hey, guys. So we spent some time. This is the new set. We got a little more vibe going on for Destiny. We're going to be shooting a lot more videos here, stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff. Shout out Angela, Alex girl, who hooked it up. She got us all kinds of cool shit, like limited edition snow globe right here. Okay, let me get the close up one. Oh shit! I don't have any pockets.
Where
are you at? My cam. Look at that.
The Kate 6 snow globe.
5,000. Like, come on, boy. You know what we're working with. We got the limited edition out here. So she hooked us up actually with like all the set stuff you guys see, like the posters. Alec hooked us up with that.
Got the Leviathan over my shoulder. It's gonna suck me on in.
Snow globe. We got a bunch of characters and stuff. Some books we've been reading. You know what I mean? We gotta stay up. You messed up your mic. We've been reading. My mic's off. That's what happens when it falls out. Always audio issues here on Photo Gaming.
Yo, what up, D?
How we doing, everybody?
No chop.
No chop. I told you we put some work in. We've been fixing it. That's playing full. That's full frame. I can see my hand the whole way across.
You can feel the jet all the way.
I can feel the jet, baby. Hell yeah.
I need to move this so it's like
I'm pumped on that.
Somewhere a little bit more.
Oh, dude, no, we should just.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, we're still working on it. Like I said, Dutch and I literally, he came over after work at like.
I got here at like 12:30, 1 in the morning.
We were up till like 4 a.m. setting a lot of this up. Lauren, that whole day, the day before, along with Brian, we moved like Alex's bed out of here. We got like a futon here for live audience. If any of you guys are ever in town, I keep like looking up at the camera. I'm just like, oh shit. We got a futon for live audience. We got.
You're looking at the TV.
Yeah, we got new lighting and equipment. Hopefully, it looks a little better for you guys. So yeah, we're super pumped on it. Lana's still loud as always. Hopefully, you can't hear her too bad.
Can you hear her? Can you hear her in my mic?
Hope you guys are having a beautiful Monday. All right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous out. It's like 68 degrees.
Yeah, dude, we got the windows open here in the studio. Come on.
Yeah, it was pretty hot in here.
Yeah.
I was melting.
So
got the backlighting for the M.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this is Maryland. Most of you guys will probably know from sports. That's where the 410 comes from. If you guys haven't picked up on that yet, we're from Maryland. Rep the 410, and that's where it's from. Lil Lana out here on the new studio.
Yeah, we can't get rid of her. I don't know where she came from, but she won't leave.
But yeah, so that's super sick. And then the Natty Bow, also a traditional Maryland thing, if you guys don't know about. Natty Bow and crabs. That's like what Maryland does.
Yep. And tractors.
And tractors. And wagons. And Dr. Pepper. I got a new Dr. Pepper. Dude, there's upgrades left and right out here, okay? I'm fucking pumped. So
if you guys are watching out there, give a shout out on the screen.
Yeah,
there we go. We got
hit us up in the chat.
We got Duke and Danny out there watching. So what's up, boys?
Gang. So we're in it. What's up, Lana? So yeah, we're back. But you know, things are gonna be the same. We still got beer. Let's try something out. What we got for today?
Oh,
we got a special guest today.
Sponsor soon.
We got a special guest.
Shh, Lana. We're trying to do the show, Lana. You need to go get your blanket.
The lore master himself,
Afro Bob.
Afro Bob will be on the show momentarily. We're gonna just get things kicked off here with the beer and everything. We got him.
He's one of the great, wonderful people that we met in when we were a part of Renegades. He was one of the guys that we actually really enjoyed talking to, and we've had him on the show. He was actually our first guest on the show.
Was it first?
Yeah, we called him in, and then that's when we were like, "Holy shit!"
Phone call. Well, we got him live on the feed today, so he's gonna actually be tuning in. You guys will be able to chat with him for a little bit. He's going to let us know all about the different things going on as we move into Season of the Worthy. A lot of the lore stuff that's going on, and with the cutscene that
I need a bottle opener.
Jeez. A lot of the lore stuff that's going on. Hectic as always around here. Right?
Hey. Well, someone's not getting a popsicle when we get done the show. I promised her a popsicle. We ain't getting that now.
Anyway, so yeah, we got him going on. You get the beer?
Yeah, I need a bottle opener.
There should be one. I got it.
I saw one in the bathroom.
No, there's one right there.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, why do you have a bottle opener in the bathroom?
Because you never know where you're going to have to pop bottles.
Afterwards.
Yeah, guys.
So yeah, we got Afro Bob in the.
What's up, brother?
in the chat right now, so we'll have him on shortly.
The whole gang.
We're gonna do a little recap today, a little seasonal recap. Talk about some things. There was a lot of good things that happened this week. We finished the Empyrean Foundation restoration. Hey, Lana, how about you?
Pretty
calm
cool.
down?
We found out about the trials, which we kind of knew already, but
Yeah. So next week, if you guys tune in next week, we're actually gonna have Villainous on the show to talk about some PvP stuff. So we're not gonna really touch too much on that today. Maybe just
next
briefly,
week
but
it's going to be, and like after this week, we should have a much better, because that'll be the day before the new season.
she thinks she's like the star of the show or something. Fuel the jet. Yeah.
So we got lots of cool stuff. We're going to try and make it so that these shows don't have any episodes without guests anymore. Like ideally, like
Yeah.
we'd like to have a guest every episode. So if you guys, like we've said it before, we've said it again, we'll say it again. If you want to come fuel the jet, if you want to come hop on this wagon and be on the show,
Fuel yourself up with some Dr.
let us
Pepper.
know.
Yeah.
So awesome, guys. Well, cool. Let's try this beer. What is this?
So Lauren actually got us this, our producer Lauren. This is Maine Beer Company. They're pretty well known for their lunch and dinner series. But this one's pepper. It's a pale ale. Well, that's pretty good for a pale ale.
Yeah,
Holy
that is
shit.
good. I like that.
I'm actually a big fan of that.
Dude, they
Okay.
always make really
Shh,
good
don't say
stuff,
those
though.
words.
I don't think they ever do wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Lana can't stop fueling the jet, ladies and
That's all
gentlemen.
she does now is just.
The other day, I was getting dressed, and I was like, Lana, get hyped. And she went, ah! And I was like, well, she's been hanging out on set too much.
Yeah, right.
So she'll be here every other week now. My mom is stepping up to the plate. She's like, I want you guys to have a good time on the show. So my mom's going to take her every other Monday. So, and then hopefully our other producer, Jenna, will be in the studio a little bit more. She's reworking her schedule. So we know how much you guys love to see Lana, but, you know, sometimes it can be a little handful with her hopping in and fueling the jet in front of everybody.
Too much fuel, you know, like not enough fuel, not enough room for all this fuel in the new studio.
right,
It's
go sit
a
down,
little
please.
tighter. But anyway, so yeah, this is good. Want to get Afro Bob in here and
Yeah, so
Get right
after
into
Bob,
it.
we're going to give you a little
as Lauren gets her gets
Dave
him
Mayo wants to
connected
know
up
when's
in
the
here.
Dr. Pepper obsession started. What year?
Honestly, like we took it over the top with this show, like and like when we started streaming and stuff, because I just used to always drink Dr. Pepper and Coke. I'll be honest, I was drinking Coke as well, and I always want to. If you go, have you guys have played with me or who asked that? Who was that?
Danny.
Oh yeah. So I always like slurp my drinks on the show like really loud because I like to get all the flavor, like a nice little. Here, I'll give you a little.
No, please
The slurp, the infamous slurp.
The little swish swish. You gotta just get all the flavors flowing out here. So everyone, you can always hear it through my mic when we play, and it kind of just became a thing. And now, dude, something about 23 flavor. I noticed a difference every night. I drank this instead of Coke or instead of Gatorade or instead of water. The levels just went to another. All right, it leveled up every time. So
Leveled up.
So now we're just straight Dr. Pepper status only, unless we're chugging monsters or something with a little more caffeine.
Yeah,
in it.
like 300 milligrams.
But this is just my standard drink of choice for greatness.
Yeah, I got it at work now. I don't know if you guys watched the Instagram feed, but we carry Coke products at work, and we got a bag of Dr. Pepper, like a bag in a box. So like you just hook it up to a machine, and then it like carbonates it for the fountain. And it didn't work, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a Pepsi product.
Because they have Coke machines. It's
Coke
like
machine,
only.
yeah, it's Coke only. So I went behind Coke's back and ordered a Pepsi to Coke converter, and now we got Dr. Pepper at work. So it's crucial.
Super lit. Until the Coke guy comes in and tries to get some cherry Coke.
I'll cut his fingers off.
I'll fuel the drink. So awesome.
Why
When
don't you
we
go
got
sit
him
down
up.
and relax.
Yeah. So just
Yeah, we're gonna get
Him, yeah,
we're gonna get Afro Bob up in here.
picture him in the bottom, and then you can turn up his level. He should be on. He's on the yellow channel, the third channel. Yeah, just so we can hear him.
down.
Up, yeah. All like way higher. That's only at 4. Like up to at least 20.
I got him on here.
Sorry if there's a little echo. We're still working on. We had it figured out in the old studio. We were sitting down on the couch, but
Keep going.
okay.
Keep going.
Sorry,
I can't
guys.
hear him. I mean, is he? Do you have his volumes up? No, you gotta put up. Oh yeah, he's up. Can we hear you?
Hey, I can hear you guys.
Oh, what's up, man?
There we go.
We're gonna get him pictured in real quick. Our echo's a little loud.
Maybe turn his volume up a little bit just so we can hear him.
There he is.
Yo. Oh, we got.
Hey.
Everybody wondering about this rip in the couch. This was Decon's first gaming chair, and his mom said he used to grind his feet into the gaming chair. So we were going to get some new chairs, but we decided that this chair had a little bit more flavor to it.
23 flavors.
Exactly. 23 flavors. Can you give us a jet fuel, Afro Bob? Fuel the jet for us live on the show.
Does that sound all right? Can everyone hear everyone?
Yeah.
Starting to get there. All right.
So
Afro Bob,
for everybody watching, we did
hold up.
we did call him in, and we set everything up, but we're still working on it a little bit so we don't get any feedback.
There we go. That should be good. We just got to get the little earpieces that like.
Ooh.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Working on it.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
We're working on it. So cool, man. Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, perfect.
And
So
if,
welcome
if
to the
anything
show, man.
doesn't sound good at home, guys, make sure you let us know, and producer Lauren will hook it up and get those audio levels right.
Nintendo Warriors in the house. He said, sorry he's late, but the raid god has arrived.
Oh my God, we haven't even talked about that.
Yeah.
We will get
We'll get into
right
that.
into it. Hell yeah. But without further ado, welcome. Afrobot, thanks for coming out with us again. We've had you on before, and we always appreciate you coming in and just spitting straight knowledge on us. The intellectual chariot,
Yep.
all right, has arrived.
I do what I can.
So for those of you guys who have maybe never met Afro Bob before, this is the 410 lore master, okay? He knows more about the ins and outs of the lore than we could ever do. So we were kind of explaining to our producer Lauren. She was like, "What is a lore master compared to like
Us.
Decon and I? We try to grind the end game content, the raids, the flawless, the ordeals. That's kind of like." And then, I mean, you play those activities as well, but kind of give everybody who doesn't know an insight as to what the lore master is.
Yeah, so as a lore master, the main thing I do is find out the story that's going on behind the scenes. That it plays integral roles into the game itself, but isn't normally touched up upon because it can sometimes take away from the game, and that's fine. But I've always loved story-based games. From like some of my first games, and that's just carried on through.
Yeah. And so in Destiny, it's a little bit, I don't want to say more challenging, but the story's not right there in front of your face, right? It's you kind of have to dig a little bit deeper to find the story.
Honestly, Destiny is brilliant and challenging. Yeah, no, challenging is the right word. The way that Destiny's lore work is very similar to Inception. There's stuff going on. We're not 100% sure what most of the time.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So the main reason we want to have you on about, we actually, after we saw that cutscene with Osiris and Rasputin, that just came out and kind of leaked and kind of gave us a little bit of insight of where we're going as we move into Season of the Worthy, but kind of like what was the makeup of that. And we obviously went to Afrobob and was like, yo, do you have any thoughts on this? Like, what's the community saying? Like, like we said, this is the lore master. So anytime we have questions like that, this is who we go to. So instead of him just kind of telling us everything, we figured we'd have him on the show and kind of give us some
Hear from
insight.
him
I think
firsthand.
he's prepared. There's like obviously hundreds of theories, right? But you've kind of narrowed it down to a good few.
Yeah. So there's two main theories floating around right now. I have my own separate theory. So I don't know if you guys heard, but at the end of that cutscene, Rasputin actually responds, and that's what a lot of people are debating on. A lot of people have said that he said darkness.
Mhm.
I have never known Bungie to be so cut and dry as to go, we're going to leave you with a mystery and then answer it straight away.
Yeah.
I've never known them to be so cut and dry. So I don't buy that. The other one is, do you think it's so simple? I could see that one being it. Personally, my theory is that he said, are you threatening me? Because throughout Destiny's lore and even in the first game, its main expansion, Rasputin hasn't been a friend to Guardians. He was what set Siva on the Iron Lords, which, yes, fine, it was taken over by the Fallen, but he actually set Siva on Guardians. to stop Guardians from using it, but there were other ways of doing it, but he chose to weaponize their corpses. At the end of Warmind, he also stated that he is the guardian of humanity. He completely showed disregard to us being there. He basically went, yes, thank you, little things, you can get out of the way now. And I think a lot of people mistook that as, oh, he's our friend now, because at the time we were at sort of a stage where we were gathering allies after the Red War, and it did seem a little bit like that. But Rasputin hasn't really been a friend to Guardians, and I think Season of the Worthy could potentially be us proving that we are worthy to him, which I'm not completely down with, but I could see that's the route they're taking.
Yeah.
So who does he pledge his allegiance to, if I may ask?
So as an AI, he has a prime directive. That prime directive is to protect humanity at all costs. It has brought in a lot of theories about what he did. One of the big theories that's never been proven is that he actually shot down the Traveler to stop the Traveler from leaving back during the collapse. To what effect this is true, we don't really know, but his directive is to protect humanity at all costs. Whether that means dealing with us for a little bit, he will always take care of the majority of humanity. And it also comes into question of whether he sees us as a part of humanity, as Guardians.
Sounds dangerous to me.
So where do you think it takes us moving into Season of the Worthy? I mean, obviously, I think it's clear that we're going to be against him.
Osiris saw something, right?
We're not going to be
in one of
against
his
Osiris.
timelines.
Like, we're not going to, after what we just did, we're not going to turn on Osiris. So, it's pretty clear that we're going to be fighting Rasputin on Mars in the next season, right?
I think with Bungie, it's never so cut and dry as that. They most likely have him be more like a callous figure. He's there. We got to keep an eye on him, but right now he's not doing us any harm.
Maybe a raid lair boss in a future DLC.
A Warmind raid layer, maybe.
Yeah.
Because maybe you have some insight on this too. But just aside from the lore stuff with all that, any insight on what you think maybe might come from PvE? The only thing about this season has been trials. You know what I mean so far. So do you think we're going to be getting anything like that possibly?
We're definitely going to be getting some PvE-based content. DMG have said on Reddit that the Trials is just free to play. That's not seasonal content.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Which means that we've got all the seasonal content to still be announced.
That's crazy that we're
We'll probably get that this week.
That's crazy that we're a week away, though. We're 8 days away from the new season, and they haven't announced a single thing from the season except for what's going to be free. They're just trials.
Yeah, they're keeping it.
No one cares about the
They're
season.
keeping it blanketed.
That's sick. That means there's so much.
I kind of like that they're keeping it on the down low.
Yeah. It's like they're pulling the trials blanket over everyone's face, and they're not even mentioning any PvE.
And then they're just going to drop a raid layer on us too. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, that would be nutty.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of due. What was the time span on the last ones? We're halfway through year 3.
So last year, Activision still backed Bungie. So we got the Last Wish raid. Then we had Season of the Drifter, which we got Gambit Prime. Then
we had Scourge of the Past in Black Armory.
Yeah, Black Armory brought Scourge of the Past, and then we also got Crown of Sorrow with.
And that's a full raid.
Well, no, those are just raid layers.
Crown of Sorrow is considered a raid layer.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, you were getting insane raid layers. So for them to not drop one every 2 seasons, I feel like that's kind of hard. If they haven't announced anything for, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when are they going to drop one next season? And then, because if they drop one next season, then we're going to get a new raid, ideally for year 4.
Yeah.
So it's what you're going to, you know what I mean? It's kind of the perfect time, halfway through the year.
Yeah.
You're not going to drop one at the very, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's the same theory, especially with the director's cut that's recently been put out. They've been listening, Bungie have, and I think they've realized that what they're currently doing isn't an evolving world like they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're going to give you stuff, end of the season, we're going to take it away. That's not evolving.
I completely agree.
So maybe since since we're bringing that subject up of the evolving world, well, I'm out.
But keep going. They should still. Can you hear him through my mic? What do you need? Some batteries?
Yeah.
Let me do that.
Yeah, my batteries are dead.
These damn mics.
Lauren, you gotta be checking.
Can you hear me, Afro Bob?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
So they brought. I don't know if the guests at home can hear me, but you can hear. You can hear me, so that's fine. The director's cut came out this week, and they discussed the future of Destiny in year 4. Maybe we touch on that for a little bit while we get the batteries changed.
Yeah, I know, because he turned it back on, but he's gonna die. Yeah, go ahead. While I switch his batteries out.
So I'm actually really happy with what they've said. They've shown that they've looked at what worked well, what didn't work well, and it's not just going to be stuck in the same dead format. The issue with Bungie is when they write, it seems pretty laid out, but how they implement it will affect, because there's some things I know rub people up the wrong way, like lifespan on weapons. If that's done wrong, that will blow up in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I don't find an issue with that as long as it's not done to all weapons across the board. Now, so like my thinking behind it was, I have a Chattering Bone that I got in the Last Wish raid, and it has what is it? It has Rampage and Outlaw, or Outlaw Rampage. I have over 30,000 kills on that gun, approaching 40,000 kills.
Your number one gun.
It's my number one used gun in PvE activity. I would never use it in Crucible, but in PvE activity, I use that. I want to use that gun still. Now, the guns that I hope, like in my reading, I hope these are the guns that they're targeting is pinnacle weapons. The Recluses, the Lunas Howls, the Revokers. Make those relevant for a season, and then you acquire them.
It's going to be everything. It's going to be like D1. So literally, it's.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
No, he pretty much said it. Like, yeah, no, because he said the lifespan for the.
I don't know.
The lifespan is supposed to be between 6 and 9 months, is what they said for guns.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah, so he said 9 and 15 months was the lifespan game.
Okay.
That's a long ass time.
I think that's too long. I think 6 to 9 is perfect.
Yeah.
And I think.
Go on,
or
sorry.
even like a year is fine. Maybe 6 to 12 is fine. Like a year, which I guess is right around the 15 mark anyway. But I do like the idea that like D1, when the power level went up and you went to Taken King, like you couldn't just boost all your guns, and it made going and getting new guns like worth it.
Yeah.
Like I don't use any gun out of Garden of Salvation, like none of them.
I use the fusion rifle, the Zealot's Reward. It's money. It's the best gun in the game.
I don't use it. But point is, like, you know what I mean? There's no real, but okay, maybe you use it, but there's no real reason to be like, hell yeah. Whereas like in the past, when you were in Taken King, like you were trying to get the pulse.
The Smite Marine sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Because it was
like,
nasty and
yeah,
Crucible.
like whatever it was. You were trying to, or even just for like crushing PvP bosses. And like only those guns would go up to like the higher levels. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like you had to get them, and it gave you something to like grind towards. Like now you go into any raid, and I'm using the same like
Randy's Recluse.
Yeah, whatever. Like the same guns.
Divinity.
Like Divinity.
But it's not even that. Right now, there is a serious case of power creep in the game. You can literally, fair enough, it's an older raid, but you can literally defeat Callus with white weapons. That shouldn't be a thing. It's an end game activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain weapons should always feel more powerful than others, and right now there is a massive power creep where you can literally enter a raid, and I haven't learned all the raids yet. I asked somebody what should I run, like, I'll run whatever you're comfortable with. It just works. It's like, that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what I got to take in.
Yeah. And that's how D1 was, right? Like if you wanted to do Vault of Glass, you needed to have your Vision of Confluence, and you needed to have your Icebreaker, and you needed to have your Galahorn, and you had to have your Fatebringer.
There was a major difference for players who had it and didn't have it.
Yeah.
Like you were basically worthless if you didn't have it.
Like, oh, you don't have Vision of Confluence? It has an Oracle booster on it. Like it kills Oracles faster. You don't have your Praetus Revenge? Sorry.
Going into Pro, you had to have a Celestial Nighthawk on the team because it just made your life so much easier.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would just happen to mess around for so much longer.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm a big fan of it. I know people are getting upset because I see it from the perspective of people farm their Mindbenders, farm their spare rations for days. Like Ryan, I mean, we were farming spare rations last night. I think Ryan said he did like 14 hours the other night. Or the other day, he did like what?
So I think the way they should do it is things like not so much raid weapons. think raid weapons should stay out of it. Raid weapons should feel powerful. It's an end game activity. They should feel powerful.
Yeah.
Things like Nightfall exclusive loot, pinnacle and ritual weapons, they should pick maybe 5 or 6 every season. Have them that they're valid and they're usable in this end game content, and then rotate them. Because yes, fair enough, it takes a lot of work to get, and you don't want to have that tarnished by not being able to take it. But you shouldn't be able to get away with, I did a grind back in the day. Now I can rip the bollocks off of anyone.
Yeah. And just to be clear, they're also not. Is he good? Okay. Just to be clear. Oh yeah, we got some comments. But just to be clear, they're not. It will not be taken out of regular Crucible matches. You'll still be able to use any gun. It won't have any impact on that.
Correct.
The only difference it's going to have is trials, where it's light based, which will be good because
Iron Banner.
or Iron Banner, because they can change the meta with that.
Yeah.
Like if something's overpowered, it can get phased out, and you're not going to have like these guns that without just breaking them and like nerfing them into the ground.
Yeah, I think
there's no way to get away from them.
It gives them
Like,
the ability to
Luna's
make a recluse that has the Master of Arms perk, and you use it for that season. It does feel overpowered, but then when you move into the next season, it's gone, and then you can create another gun. I mean, I don't know if that's what the direction they're going to move in, but that's what I would like to see. Afro Bob, we got a question for you from one of our viewers. Powerade and the Kisser asked, do you think we'll see the Exo Stranger, a.k.a. Elsie Bray, this season?
Yes, I do. Elsie Bray and Rasputin and Clovis Bray have, obviously Bray, they have a very long history. And if you were going to reintroduce her, this is the perfect season to do it.
So can we get a little background on the Exo Stranger while we're talking about it and her connection to the Bray family?
Okay, so most of this is speculatory from different pieces that we've got, that she fit the profile way too much for a start. On her forehead, she has the Bray family crest. She is an Exo who seems to have memory of before being an Exo, which is strictly forbidden. There's fragmented information, but it's not normally something they can make whole cohesive memories out of. But she distinctly has memories of this stuff. Elsie Bray designed the Worldline Zero sword and the Aneris Overdrive Sparrow, as well as a multitude of ships that we've seen throughout D1 and D2.
Nice.
She's an Exo, I want to say, is lost in time because she doesn't seem to have much control over it. She knows when it's going to happen, but it's sort of like a cannon. You can point it in the general direction, but you can't really get that pinpoint.
Yeah.
When we first encountered her on the moon, she was looking for the door to the Black Garden, which is what I love about the fact in Shadowkeep, we actually came across this door into the Black Garden as a part of the raid. Because a lot of people were like, well, hang on, we found it on Mars and we found it here, but we've never found one on the moon. So the fact
because
that
she was on the moon originally, it kind of, I didn't even think about that. It kind of goes full circle.
Yeah, so the fact that they're still addressing, potential loose threads in the lore from D1 is great.
That is cool.
Yeah, I kind of got goosebumps when you said that because I never even thought of that before. And that's why he's the lore master, not us.
That's why he's on the show giving you guys valuable.
Dropping knowledge.
And from what we can tell right now, she is currently with Marasov. So I think it would be a really good opportunity to reintroduce her back into the story for veteran players and introduce her for new light players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real sick. Hope that answered your question there, Danny Mayo.
Yeah, and if you guys have any more questions for him, just be sure to drop them in the comments, and we'll make sure we knock them out for y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
So, I mean,
what else?
Should we recap the season?
Yeah. So,
what are your thoughts on this season? Because I know that I have some very strong thoughts, and our thoughts might differ. But what are your thoughts on this season?
And just before we get into that, this is going to be our season of the Dawn recap kind of episode. Next season, we're going to focus on what's coming in Worthy. So that's kind of what we're about to cover.
We have Mr. Villainous on next week, and he's going to talk about some PvP stuff.
So if you guys have any thoughts on what you did like, what you didn't like, be sure to drop it in the comments so we can discuss it and kind of get some feedback on that and see where everyone stood with the season. I actually really did like it, but so that's what we're about to get into, guys. Be sure to let us know what you guys are thinking. If you have comments, questions on anything, drop in the chat, get involved with the feed.
Yeah. So like, I'll just go ahead and start and say that I think this season was great.
I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was way better than last season. I thought the Season of the Undying had to piggyback off of Shadow Keep a little bit. I thought that what was the seasonal activity last season called?
Vex Offensive.
The Vex Offensive was kind of boring. It was very repetitive. The Sundial I felt like was a huge step in the right direction, and I thought in general we had more exotics come out. Last season we had a bunch of repeat exotics. This was the only season where we got brand new exotics that we had never seen before.
And not just that, they weren't exotic hand cannons for a change.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and give us your take on that.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with you about the good things. I personally, I noticed that Bungie backtracked quite a bit. So they had a lot of fear of missing out or FOMO, just in case it's it. They had a lot of FOMO to do with Corridors of Time, and then they backtracked on it. You got to pick which way you do it, because then the people who have been scared into doing it, and they, like for instance, I have taken 5 people through all 19 more pages, 6 people through the 3rd Corridor Bastion, and 7 people through the Emblem. That's a lot of corridors, and then I get told that they're basically giving it all away next season.
I know,
and I'm like, wait, hang on, I just mentally tortured myself. What exactly?
Yeah.
You know, if they want to do the FOMO, that's fine. If they don't want to do the FOMO, that's also fine. But you can't change as you go.
Yeah.
Because it messes around people.
Yeah, don't hit us all with FOMO and then just reward the people that didn't do it.
Yeah. Like, oh, sorry you missed out. Here's all your rewards.
Yeah. And sorry to all the people that did have FOMO and were like having anxiety about missing shit. So they did it.
Yeah.
And you did it for nothing because we were going to give it to you anyway.
Yeah. And
I think.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The only real reward for you going in and doing the Bastion in the corridors itself only really applies if you're interested in the lore, which I love personally. But I know there are a lot of people who would have seen that coffin and been like, I mean, that's cool, but what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's me like freaking out, throwing my headset over the place, screaming.
Yeah, why don't you give us some insight on that? Because
you want to talk about the lore? Because once again, that's not our.
We put a lot of work and effort into the Quarters of Time. We actually sat up one night till like 3 or 4 in the morning. We were trying to draw maps and trying to figure out.
We were working right with the community on that, but it's the lore side of things, not so much.
Yeah, we never touched on that. Maybe because that was part of this season, and I think that was a huge part of this season that people are forgetting about. You know, that was huge for the Destiny community. That brought everybody together: lore masters, hardcore endgame content. People that didn't play the game were actually getting involved with it.
Yeah.
So maybe from a lore perspective, how huge was that in this season and for the game in general?
So the lore this season is, I'm gonna say a bold statement that not other lore masters may agree with me, but as a smaller expansion, was one of the best seasons of lore that we have gotten so far.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We've had the lore on Saint for a start. Most of that got covered and explained anyway through cutscenes and the mission quest, so I won't go into too much detail about that. We understand more this season about the Speaker, Ghosts, and Warlords than we ever have before, because before there was a direct contradiction. We are told that Ghosts pick those who are worthy of the light, who are the best of humanity. And then we have the Warlords, who are the complete opposite. Some, like Shaxx, change over time, but many of them died taking advantage of people. And it directly contradicts with the whole best of humanity. This season, they address the fact that, you know, ghosts aren't perfect. There isn't a system to this. They were looking for something. When they first came out, they were terrified. They were looking for somebody strong. That's what happened with the Warlords. It was as simple as that. They are, as, for lack of a better term, as naive as us.
We are, yeah.
And also this season is the first time since, I think it was Black Armory that we got the cutscene with Aldrin being resurrected. This is the first time that it has covered what has happened since with a lore tab inside an exotic ship that we got during the Dawning. We found out that he's just outside the city. He's as completely expected. He is very confused and very scared. You have no memories of who you were when you were first raised.
And
He
people
has
are
no
treating him
idea who
poorly.
Aldrin Sov is, what Aldrin Sov did.
Yeah.
But other people recognize him as Aldrin Sov and will punish him for that. He said,
what do you think the future is for Aldrin in the storyline going forward?
I think Aldrin is going to be a massive part in the evolving world. They mentioned about the fact that in big expansions now, they're going to be looking at completely reshaping. I don't want to go too much into the future because it's a recap, but a character like Aldrin has the potential to help completely reshape our understanding of Destiny currently.
Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, you see the story everywhere, like in movies or like any kind of storytelling. You know what I mean? You have someone who was once bad, you know, goes to the lowest of the low and then rises as the hero. You know what I mean? Like, I think that character arc is definitely in the play for him, from, you know what I mean, from the way that they've set it up.
Well, that's the thing, is that they've set it up so that on the surface, you know, he was very much painted out to be the bad guy. I definitely said many mean things about him during Forsaken.
Yeah, can we forgive him? Like, is forgiveness a part of that? Like,
but I think as time went on, and especially after his resurrection, we learned that he wasn't completely accountable for his actions. The Riven was manipulating him through his love for Mara.
Yep.
His loyalty and devotion to what he would do for somebody he loved is actually kind of admirable. And it goes beyond what some characters that we know, and I won't go so far as to say that we love Vuvuzela, but you know, very notable characters who don't show anywhere near as much commitment. So I think it's very interesting to see that, and I think he is worthy of the light.
Yeah.
He was led astray by a taken Ahamkara. That's a very hard thing to resist.
Yeah. Like,
Just as a
yeah, like, would we be strong enough to do that? You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I'd be out there shooting rockets into her mouth.
one phasing.
Bust out my prospector and take care of it myself.
No, but yeah, I feel you. I'm excited to see his character kind of rise back, hopefully.
So do we think, since we have you on, and I'm sure we'll have you on again in the future, but since we have you here now, the director's cut was released talking about the future of Destiny. We're thinking that goes into year 4. Aldrin is a character that we expect in year 4, and also Savathun, right? We're assuming that we're leading in that direction. I think we kind of touched on that last time you were on, but so like the outlook for year 4 in general, what type of what's going on in the lore community? What are they saying about year 4?
So with him emphasizing the fact that he is looking at doing a lot more world shaping, and that they are looking to do drastic changes, I believe is his exact choice of words, during these large expansions, it made me think of the World of Warcraft days. Right? So
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
where
game,
literally a new expansion would come out and everything we knew about the world would completely change.
Yep.
I mean, for God's sake, at one point the planet got stabbed and everything got reshaped.
Yep.
This is the kind of things that I'm expecting from Bungie, with the fact that they've sort of addressed the fact that it's not an evolving world and that they need to be doing much bigger changes.
Mars stays the same when the new expansion comes out. You know what I mean? Venus, you know what I mean? Like everything stays the same except for the one, like the moon or Mars or whatever they change. But the rest of
the Vex
planet,
time
like,
gate behind Ikora, which is gone.
Like World of Warcraft, like Wrath of the Lich King, like half of the planet, like all the zones that you know, like normal, just turned to ice and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just, the whole world was like a frozen, you know what I mean? Like Ice Age status. So like still cool stuff like that would be awesome. I'd love that.
Yeah, I very much hope and expect to see almost something further than what they did with the Plague Lands in Rise of Iron, where they took what they knew and they completely warped it.
Yeah, they made it Siva.
This is the kind of stuff that we expect. And I'm wondering, because there's been a lot of hints about Siva, and we know Rasputin has access to Siva. We've had Siva hinted us with Outbreak Perfected.
Yep.
So I expect to see Siva in the future. Definitely.
I like Siva, dude. That was a great season.
I'll be slinging nanites.
Yeah, dude.
Slinging nanites out the trunk of my car, baby. Huh?
What, is that Dr. Pepper?
No. I am afraid not. This is energy juice drink. It's a natural alternative to actual energy drinks.
Let me tell you about natural, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, would you like to share with us what you're drinking? Because our producers, they like to drink natural energy as well.
And check the comments, see if anyone has any questions.
This one is from Nowbiotic. Personally, I like one called Enna3. My favorite flavor is mango number 5.
Mango number 5.
I've seen Mambo those. Number 5.
I've seen those before, actually.
That's lit. Cool. So, nice. That's definitely, dude. I always love hearing about that because I don't know the lore stuff like at all.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's always super interesting to have you on to talk about it.
But yeah. So and also with this season, I very briefly touched on it was the grave that the corridors of time converge in on. That was massive. So the corridors of time is, as far as we can tell, a byproduct of us changing time by taking Saint 14 out of, not taking him out, letting him out of the Infinite Forest. And as a direct byproduct, the corridors became even more fractured than usual, and the converging point is our grave that previously didn't exist as far as we can tell.
Yep.
So I think it's definitely going to be very interesting. I love time travel in a game like this because they've done it really well. Time travel is a dangerous thing to put in a game because if you get it wrong, it will forever haunt you. Yep. But so far, they have got it right on.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. Oh, speaking of that, we just got Luke Smith put out that picture recently, right after they dropped the Trials content and everything, the picture of the sword. Do you think that is related to the grave sword that we were, because everyone was hoping for an exotic sword at the end of the whole community event for the Corridors of Time, and that didn't come to fruition, which everyone was kind of upset about. Do you think that that's going to continue on into the Season of the Worthing?
I think we're definitely due one of the elemental swords. Dark Drink would be the most obvious choice, but we already have a Void Exotic sword.
I was a big Raised Lighter fan, to be honest with you.
I was as well. Not everybody is, though. And we have actually seen Raised Lighter in the game already. In the now I'm really going to test your memories. Back during the Red War, the very opening mission, Shax had his on him.
Yeah.
So they have the animations for it in the game.
Yeah, he did have one.
And it was in the sword on the coffin was in the shape of that style of sword.
But did you see the picture that Luke Smith put out?
Yes, I did.
That had like escalation protocol markings on it, though.
And it had like the Rasputin like triangles in it.
Yeah, the escalation protocol style.
So do you think that would be something completely new, or do you think it's definitely going to be one of the previous ones?
I'm gonna. It's not really. So EMG have come out on Reddit because a lot of people were there going, "Oh, is this the new artifact?" And he has said that it's related to the artifact.
Could that be the artifact for next season?
It could be because they're doing. It is a sword. Like they're doing all those big sword changes.
They are doing a lot of sword changes, and I fully expect a lot of sword mods on the new artifact.
So, as far as sword mods, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. Nobody knows. It's just speculation. Weapons that might be in the artifact this year, we have Barrier, Overload, this season coming up, Barrier, Overload, and Unstoppable. Could we see Unstoppable swords? Could we see Barrier swords? I mean...
yeah, I would not be surprised to see a unique sword mod because of the way that the new system works, that you have like a charge for your sword as well as your ammunition. That said, if you use a full charge, that will stop an unstoppable enemy, or if you use a light charge, that will break a
barrier.
Ooh. So I wouldn't be surprised to take advantage of this new system, and then encourage you more to use swords to get used to the new system by putting out a unique mod like it.
And even like they were talking about with all the sniper changes, they were saying like you get the benefit of like in high level activities of staying back at safety, like at range, like hiding behind rocks, poking out, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't reward you. Like there's no reward for using like the shotguns or the swords or anything, because why are you going to go get up in it and risk it when the damage is the same or worse? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if they do really up that with specific mods like that to give you more incentive to risk. I'm going to go in there with my sword and try and get some shit done. But the payoff would be
Much
major
greater,
if you could make some plays rather than just standing back and shooting them with a bow or shooting them with a pulse rifle. It's like to stop unstoppables or whatever, you know?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Right now, everything that I have seen through clips, it looks like the fourth horseman is going to be returning.
Yeah, I saw
That's the
that.
shotgun. It looks like they are encouraging us to get up close, personal, punch them, headbutt them, get right up in their faces.
Sounds like everyone needs to main a Titan, baby, and start punching away.
Yay, it's Shadowkeep Mark II. Run a Titaner. You're not playing it right.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Yeah.
But
so go ahead.
That being said, you know, they've done they've been trying out some new balances so that, you know, we got the Hunter one-shot melee this season, and they're balancing the Warlock's general melee so that it's got a larger range to make it. They said that it was to make it more viable against a Hunter or Titan, but I personally think
right now
they're encouraged to get up closer to your enemy in general.
Because the animation on the Warlock punch is pretty slow.
Yeah. It's literally slower than the Titan and the Hunter.
And that translates to PvE as well, right? So I mean, if you're like, if I'm a Titan, I can go in and like, could there even possibly be an unbreakable, a barrier melee ability would be kind of cool. I don't know if they would introduce something like that into the game.
Yeah, I could see that.
Be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do.
And that would make shotguns like 1-2 punch, and also trench barrel shotguns could fall back into the meta and PvE activities as well.
Well, I don't think it's really coincidence that the ritual weapon from Gambit had 1-2 punch as one of the options.
Python.
I felt like it was sort of a setup for this season.
Yeah, if they're thinking that, which clearly that's what they're saying. They are thinking that far ahead, where they're planning these seasons out to kind of work with each other. So that's a good point. Maybe they're putting
because I haven't used, like, I've got Python, and I think I have 5 kills with it. Like, it was never a gun.
I never
was really needed because
I put it in the vault.
Like, and so obviously, like Decon and I, we run a lot of Nightfall ordeal strikes. We farm the ordeals. Like, if we're bored and we're waiting for our team of 6 to get on to raid, the first 3 people on, we'll hop into Master Nightfalls, and we'll just farm them as many times as we can until the rest of our squad gets on. We're using Divinity, 1 Divinity, 2 Izanagis. You know, our Divinity user typically will use Unstoppable, and then our 2 Izanagi guys will use Barrier, and we can roll through ordeals in anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depending.
There's no reason to use anything else.
Yeah, there's no reason to use anything else. So, like, guns like the Python, which have awesome perks on it, right? Like, on paper, the Python looks ridiculous, but no one, I mean, what's the incentive to use that when you can stand back with your Izanagis and your Divinity and just take out champions in one shot?
And that's where I think the lifespan on weapons also comes in. You know, if not some big exotics, but other weapons, if you can't use them, if you don't have the incentive to use them because they won't work, these new weapons, you then like, okay, yeah, that's actually a really good weapon.
Yeah. Because if something falls out, you're going to find something to replace it, and then you start using something else, and boom, like all of a sudden that thing's just as beast as the other gun anyway.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and you know, another thing too, like a lot of people were upset with the director's cut last week, talking about how they're going to do that to guns, but
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a power move. It keeps you grinding for guns, and it changes the meta. They can manipulate the meta more season by season or year by year, and dictate. I mean, not that they should be dictating the way we play the game, but you know, maybe it adds a little bit more versatility to the game, and we don't get stuck like needing.
If anything, it's taking away the dictatorship, because right now we've sort of put ourselves in the mindset of, you haven't got this, this, and this. Well, there's no point in doing it.
It's the Gallahorn situation all over again.
it is 100% looking for people for raid. If you haven't got a galley, don't bother joining.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of environment that we want to be creating. And by saying, things have got a lifespan, it means that you're going to be spending more time experimenting with different weapons.
Yeah.
And while I was thinking about the close range, I also thought sidearms got a massive buff this season.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have a lot of range. You've got to get up close. But when you do, oh my God, do they hit?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big fan. And I've been saying that since day one, that sidearms were going to make a comeback eventually. And so in theory, could we be looking at a sidearm shotgun sword meta next season for PvE activities?
I mean, that's super close range, and it'd be real interesting to see.
Could you imagine doing an Ordeal Nightfall with sword, shotguns, and sidearms?
I think the only issue is that we're going to have to get somebody to launch somebody up to get the Shriekers. We're going to have to catapult people up for that.
And also...
He rises, done. Consume that grenade.
Yeah, swords, like, if they're really going to make swords the showcase for the season, then you can use that exotic sword, the Void one, that Black Talon, that launches projectiles across the screen, stuff like that too.
I'm interested to see how the exotic swords work with the new sword system. They haven't really gone into it. They've said it would be affected, but they haven't gone to what extent.
Yeah.
Amen.
I think that's just going to be, because even if they do put a barrier or something on that, and you can just yeet a sword across the room, like.
Yeah, take down a barrier.
Oh, if you do that,
but the thing is, you can't slot those barrier mods on exotic weapons. So, is that a change? Hope
that won't be a change.
Yeah.
Which is good, because if they intend for a sword, like they give you a dope perk for a sword that, like, if you risk getting up there, you don't want people just standing back with that and just yeeting it across the room and like getting the perk when they're not.
But you say that, like, right now, you can go up to a barrier hobgoblin, for instance. You can 2-heavy quick fang that.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the chance to pop its in time. It will just die. Going back on something you actually said last week, Decon, is you asked about next year. Can we expect to see replacements for Barrier, Unstoppable, and Overload? I think we may see more. I don't think they'll directly replace, for one reason only: Garden of Salvation.
Yeah, because you have barriers, you have overloads. Yeah.
Unless they were to directly replace those in the raid. I can't see them spending the time to replace those in the raid with the new ones.
Yeah, and I don't think that would happen. But I think just adding like a fourth one that would only be in Ordeals or something, like, fine. Like, there's no Unstoppables in the Garden, so why not just have, you know what I mean? Like, there's no Unstoppables. You could add another one just to the Ordeals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, so
I don't think that they're going to.
That takes us to what I want to ask you while we have you on here. What are your thoughts about Grandmaster Nightfalls moving forward? What do you think they're going to make changes besides difficulty and power?
So I'm really hoping they get this right. What I would personally like to see, and I can't see them doing it, and I will explain my reason for what I would like to see, is, say at the end of your first weekly one, you get a ticket. You can take this ticket to any vendor currently in the game, and then you have completely cut out the class item. You will then get a drop, a high stat drop of piece of armor from that vendor. I want to see that because I like to look good as I do stuff, and some of my favorite looks have been from planetary vendors. And with the new stat rolls, I've been grinding for 2 seasons, and I have not managed to get any of the planetary vendor stuff to drop above 58.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. That's the max. Yeah.
And
it's not pinnacle rewards.
Yeah, but even when you finish a Nightfall, a Master Nightfall, like, you get a piece of gear sometimes, and it's a Vanguard strike gear, and those don't even drop above 58. Like, I've never gotten a 60 strike gear from a Master Nightfall
because it's not a pinnacle activity. Just like Pit of Heresy isn't either. That's why those drops are always garbage.
Yeah, they're like 48.
Yeah,
and that comes into a big issue. You know, they're like, hey, Armor 2.0 is going to be so much more freeing, but it feels more limiting, if anything. Like my Warlock in Season of Opulence, I had a Jensen Knight helm, I had an Exodus Down robe, and a Reverie Dawn arms, and then I normally ran Lunar Factions as my boots, and then I used the Gambit Bond. It was a really good look. I used it with Gambit Blackguard. I'll send you guys an image if you want later on. It looked really good, and everybody's like, "What are you wearing? I don't recognize any of this armor." And then the new system came out, and I was like, "Oh man, I really hope I can get some good rolls." And then I heard the hard way that you just can't.
Yeah.
And I really want them to see them free that up more, especially with. And I know you don't want to go into next season. I really want to touch on this bit.
No, we can. No. Go ahead.
Please.
Yeah.
Faction stuff. So in the director's cut, they'd said that they're adding faction armor and X amount of weapons into the legendary loot pool
For world drops, yes.
Yeah. So it's bittersweet for me. I would love to see the old faction system from D1.
Yep.
I don't know enough about game design to know if it was too challenging to put in with everything.
They just need to make it like it was in D1, where you just level it up as you go.
And you have to, like, if you do one, like, you know what I mean? You get, like, rewards for that. Like, that gear. Like,
it doesn't need to be a rally or an event. It's just, it's always.
Just give us, like, 4 daily bounties. You get so much faction XP. When you get a faction level up, you get a faction engram.
And
that's what I would like.
Better, like, good stuff. Put, like, a good thing at the top where, like, you really can't farm out them all. You need to, like, focus on one at a time. Like,
Exactly. That's how I would like to see it. But
make it multiple seasons.
Yeah, I'm glad to see them back, but I would have liked to see them back in a different way. In a classic way.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get with it. But I would really love some high stat rolls of those. The new Monarchy Titan stuff, I always loved how that looked. But again, they're bringing it back. Yay. They're also limiting it because you're not going to get a decent stat roll of it.
Yeah, no.
Done.
Pretty much useless, like, to be honest. So
essentially what you do is, you go in, you get your high stat rolls from the season pass, which still boggles my mind.
Yes.
That you just get them given to you for reaching a certain. I know we said we want more ways of getting it. I didn't mean literally hand it to us.
The highest stat roll in the game.
Yeah.
66. Like, literally, nothing else drops at 66. The highest stat roll in the game.
Yeah, I've gotten 64s recently or 62s from Iron Banner and also completing the raids, but that's.
I got a 63 from Iron Banner, but that's it. Like, a 66.
But yeah, so then they pick those up and then use the universal ornaments that you can buy for silver is more realistic because you don't want to be waiting 8-9 weeks to finish the set. And if that's what they want to do, that's fine to a certain degree. I understand why they're doing it, but they shouldn't. They're essentially, investing time in creating this armor and making it armor 2.0 for it to basically get vaulted or immediately dismantled because it's just terrible.
I agree, and I don't know why. I mean, we talk about World of Warcraft a lot, but like World of Warcraft put a transmog system in where you just take any item in the game, and as long as it's in your inventory, you can make any piece of armor look like that. Like, I mean, except for exotics, obviously, because you want people to know like what you're wearing in PvP or whatever. But why do I have to like get an ornament for the gear? Why can't I just have the gear? Like, once you get it from the raid, why can't you just make anything look like that? Like, once you've unlocked the piece by itself once.
Yeah.
Like,
well, here's what I would suggest. Each character gets 20 custom ornament slots. You can then choose 20 pieces of armor that you dismantle into it that you can then use as an ornament.
You can even make it a right thumbstick click like you can for your finishers and just like lock it into your 20-piece set or whatever.
Exactly. Then that way you can go, oh, I want this look, I want that look. 20 means you've got 4 potential loadouts because the average person has 4 exotics that they base their loadouts around. So then you've got 4 full loadouts that you can then base around your exotics, and you can just swap, done. There we go. And it doesn't matter if it's planetary, if it's raid. You have the aesthetic, but you still got the power.
yeah. And just like why the I literally just lost my train of thought. I was about to say something. Literally just blacked out.
We lost him.
Oh no, and then just have for like the actual how they give out the what's it called the looking
Ornaments.
The ornaments just have like upgraded glow versions of them. So like for the raid one, you could make any of the raid gear. Like once you have the raid gear, you could make any of your stuff look like the raid gear. But then have like a raid ornament that makes it glow. Or the
Just
same
like
thing
in
for the
D1.
season pass. Once you have the season pass gear, you can make anything look like that if you put it in your custom slot. But then have at the end, have them be like a special ornament that like makes it glow or adds like one more element of design to it. Like the shoulder pad now has like some spikes on it or something.
Yeah, like they did in
just
D1.
Add something
exactly how
special
they did.
to it. Yeah.
So in D1, at the end of D1, if you completed a raid challenge, you would get like an ornament coin, and then you could turn that coin into your piece of gear, and it would unlock an ornament.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm getting serious flashbacks of having my flaming wolf shoulder pads.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want to talk about making money. Like your ornament system is your moneymaker. Like if you make some sick ornaments, people are gonna buy them. If you make like
I bought the tractor cannon ornament the other day, the one that has the I don't know, the new one, the hive looking one.
I know some of
the moon one. Yeah.
I just think that they need to do something that makes it like way more over the top, not just a little bit different, not a little bit cooler. Like I want like lava, like once again, World of Warcraft shit. Like I want lava flowing out of my
in the chat right now.
off my back.
We got Nintendo saying, like he said it before and he'll say it again. Every armor look needs to be ornamented.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
why not? It's already there.
Yeah, it's not hurting
You're just
the game.
copying the code, the visual code numbers, and putting like that's literally all it is. Like,
And then they always
maybe
say
it's
like
more than that, but
they're always
that's
like, we
what it
want
seems
you
like.
to have we want all the Guardians to look differently, and we want you to have your own looks or like look.
But there's
different.
only like 2 sets of ornaments that you literally have.
And
season gear.
Yeah, this is the thing. They're encouraging it with the whole Fashion Week emblem that they're doing. But you're like, do I invest my time in that, or do I get these stat roll gear that I can, do pinnacle events in?
Yeah, I completely agree.
The one thing I know I said about Bungie backtracking, I'm really glad that they backtracked on this, and I think it was the right call, is that in Iron Banner and in Trials, artifact bonus levels do not matter.
Yeah, they don't make a difference at
What
all. Artifacts like bonds and marks and
Oh
cloaks.
yeah.
Right, that's what you said. Bonds, marks, and cloaks.
So the mods still affect, but the bonus power that you get from an artifact will not help you out in Iron Banner and Trials
Correct.
anymore.
Yeah.
No, I thought it will. They
No, it
confirmed
won't.
that it won't.
No,
They've
confirmed it.
backtracked on it now. Initially, it was,
Oh,
and within 12 hours, the fallout was so bad they went, no, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, because you have people that were 1,000 like
Dude,
PvE players.
Same thing. You already get it in Iron Banner. I played last Iron Banner. We were playing kids that are a level 1,009. Like your Dutch is level 300 on his seasonal pass. And
305.
He's only
24.
You're only plus 24.
Yeah.
And you're at like 994. 994.
Yeah.
This guy's 1,009, which means that his artifact level was like plus 39.
Yeah.
Which would mean like he has like level 600 on the season pass.
Yeah.
And this
Like
is
that
the thing.
kid would just
Pinnacle event
crush
like
everyone.
Trials. You don't want to be losing to somebody who farmed out lost sectors.
Yeah.
That is going to hurt so much. It's going to kill the event.
Yeah.
It would 100% kill it off.
See, at first I was
Especially when you get to flawless card number 7.
At first I
And
was
you
thinking
play like a kid of all level 1000s, and you're just like, cool. sick.
At first I was thinking it was going to level the playing field. Like, oh, the power bonus is cool because diehard Crucible players, their light level is always lower than like someone who plays PvE. So I was like, oh, like they're going to be much better than me skill-wise, but my power level will even it out. So I went on Reddit, and I was like posting on Reddit, and then this dude was like, I play Iron. He's like, I go Legend every season. He was like, I don't even play Iron Banner because it's so bad. Like, I get 2 tapped to the body, and it takes me 4 or 5 shots to actually kill
And
somebody.
those events, like Iron Banner and Trials, is for those players that play
Exactly.
Legend every season. It's
Yeah.
not for the PvE players.
So I was
everyone.
late. I
Well, it is
grind
for-
this
but you
season.
shouldn't cater the PvE things or the PvP things for the PvE players.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like say, just like we wouldn't want them to like have raids come out at level 900 because the PvP players don't have 950 gear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to play that and you want to do well, then you need to go play that. Like, But
And,
if you're a big
I
PvP
felt that.
player, you shouldn't have to play PvE. It'd be like you have to go get legend, or you have to be
You're out.
2100.
Your mic's out.
You got to be level 21. No, no.
Oh,
I'm built in the streets. But you wouldn't tell people that they have to go hit level 2100 before they do the raid. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, like we kind of did with Recluse, but
So Afrobot, well, he changes his mic batteries. So you played World of Warcraft a lot, and I know Decon did because he's always like, oh, I wish that Destiny was more like World of Warcraft. Do you think that I mean, how involved were you in World of Warcraft? Did you play a lot, and do you think that Destiny should change their game to almost be a little bit more in depth like World of Warcraft? I've never played, so I don't really know anything about it.
I think they could learn a lot from World of Warcraft since they are saying that they want to fall into the same category as it. So they could definitely look at what went well with World of Warcraft and use that. They've got a prime example of a game that has put a lot of time in at getting its system right that they could use as so much a template, but a basis to begin to look at.
would you like to
Good.
see more? And I think this. I think I know the
your
answer.
iPad.
I think anyone would say yes to this. Would you like to see Destiny go into a more role-based category for the different classes? Like I know, like the Warlock class, I guess Solar Middle Tree with the well and turning your
Healing
nade into a
grenade.
heal and stuff. But I'd love to see that go even further and have Titans kind of have more of a tanky role. Maybe we boost the amount that those regenerate in like PvE, where like I'm literally just standing there healing. You know what I mean? Rather than just being raw, and then maybe hunters or maybe like different specs or like DPS classes.
Like it doesn't matter. You could run into a raid or
With all,
or
yeah,
PvP.
like all hunters, it doesn't matter. Like I'd like to see it go a direction where you need a like. It's sometimes you do just because of the super, but like you could get by and do any raid encounter with any class. You know what I mean? Like it's not needed, but I'd like to see it move further where there were more independent roles. Do you think that that's a good spot for Destiny, or I mean, being a first-person shooter, does it not really? Would that turn a lot of people off and be bad for the game?
I don't know, because from a PvE side of things, they want to move away from FPS more into MMORPG. They've said this openly.
I agree.
And I think a big part of that would to be looking to, I'd say, 3 categories, like with the oh my god, words, the supers and the abilities and that, is that you have an offensive, you have a passive, and you have a unique side to it. Something so that you've got your hard hitter, you've got either your healer or your tank in the one, and then each one has something that's completely unique to the others. So that ideally you want to build a fire team of one of each.
But would you like to see it like right now? Yes, it's like kind of built like that, but it doesn't really feel all that different. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, you have like this one guy has a rift, another guy has a barricade, but generally, like if
They're
you
all
never
interchangeable.
use any of that, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like to be honest, I mean, yes, it helps, but if you never use a rift in a raid, like I could go through a raid and never use a rift as a warlock. You could go through and never use a barrier. Like,
I never do.
They're not required per se. Whereas I think if they became more of a role, it would be a lot cooler. I
Like
think.
if they applied better buffs, maybe.
Yeah, like if they were just a little more powerful and maybe you got them more, maybe they made mechanics where like the whole floor catches on lava and there's no getting away from it, so you better have a warlock that's healing you.
Yeah.
Or like you're gonna get like all these bullets here, you better have a Titan put up a shield, or you know what I mean? Like more mechanic based stuff that kind of really separates the classes rather than just, oh, they have like a one-off ability that they can use to help them, but it's not really a main feature because at the end of the day, everyone's still using their guns and just spraying out with the same loadout or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like in D1 they actually almost cracked this because you had to have a bubble Titan. You had to have this, you had to have that, or else it just wasn't going to work. And I think the weapon working, the system being worked on, could actually be used to benefit that. Because as I said right now, there is a massive power creep. You can literally disrespect Callus with the Traveler's Chosen, literally in brackets, damaged sidearm. it shouldn't be like that. So if you bring weapons, and not everybody may agree with me on this, if you bring weapons down a peg in general, then it means that you're balancing the system between your weapons and your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do that, you can look at making the abilities more godlike.
Yep.
Because we are supposed to, Paracausal, we're supposed to be these godlike beings. And you do feel like that, but you don't feel like that because of supers at the moment.
Yeah.
And I understand the PvP side of things. You know, right now, you don't want to be a god because you do need to be taken out of super. It's too broken if you're godlike in PvP.
Yeah.
But surely the sandbox allows to take into consideration a PvP activity or PvE activity.
Yeah, for sure.
And that includes, I think, too, having a PV. Like right now, I have a PvE set of gear and a PvP set of gear, but I know you've said this before. Having a set of PvE gear, if you wore that into the Crucible, it would do nothing for you. Like a set of gear, they need to have more sets of gear where like you have to have this PvP set of gear.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that in the aspect of, I mean, you play World of Warcraft, but like the resilience stat on PvP gear in World of Warcraft, where it would have a stat where you couldn't take like your best raid gear into PvP and do well. Like you would get crushed, and vice versa, because they had specific stats that made you resilience. For those who don't know, basically it was just increases damage taken and given, maybe, or maybe it was just damage taken, decreases damage taken from opponents. So if you had full stat of PvP gear on, you were taking 40% less damage. So no matter how good your raid gear was in World of Warcraft, that like you could do a ton of damage with, you didn't have that 50% debuff, so it didn't matter. You were still getting melted. You know what I mean? So it made a stat where it kind of like you had to have that gear. I'd love to see that in trials as well. I mean, maybe they could implement the exact same thing where it's just like damage decrease, and you had to farm out sets, like, and that way
I
you
would
couldn't.
love
You know what I
to
mean?
see
I'd
that.
like to see that.
There's only going to, I think we'd only really encounter one issue, and that is one of Forsaken's little gifts, a Gambit, because you've got PvE and PvP in one game.
But then maybe they change the Gambit Prime gear. Like everyone needs to farm out a Gambit Prime.
Well, yeah,
set.
they already have that. So
yeah,
like,
where it has both values.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have the
but then
Gambit
you
gear,
could-
like that kind of, like I see what you're saying, but maybe make that gear where those, just like the Gambit gear where it has the plus whatever and gives you those bonuses. Maybe it only gives you those bonuses on that PvP gear when you enter into
Gambit.
when you enter into Crucible.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only time. Same thing with the Gambit Prime gear.
I think they need to fire everybody at Bungie and make
And hire us.
Bungie, you listening? We got ideas.
As they're like, yeah, everyone's fucking told us that before. Try and change this game code.
we don't
And
have
we're
enough
just like,
resources.
I'm like, fuck that game code. Fuel the jet, baby. Nah, but I don't know. I'd love to see some stuff like that. Just some more, you know, like you said, that if they are moving into the MMORPG, or they're trying to move in that direction, they're going to need to build out the characters and create more diversity. I think with the new with the new mod system, I think that's a great step. I think that they're doing well, adding different super category. You know what I mean? With the throwing knife, completely different. The new, like, they are diversifying the classes, but I'd like to see more.
And
maybe even
I
add,
feel like they're also go on.
I was gonna say maybe even add more. Like, I wouldn't hate to see more like little abilities. Maybe not like a huge grenade or a melee or like, but just like little passive stuff. Maybe like increase like regeneration for 15% for 15 seconds, and like put it on the D-pad where you hold D-pad and a window pops up and you just like hit, you know what I mean? Select like a quick passive perk or something, or like increase movement speed for 10 seconds. Like just little passive stuff that would help.
So I was actually going to get onto that. That's on my list of things. You I don't know how, but you can see my notepad in the UK.
We're just, hey, great minds think alike, baby.
So one of my favorite mobile phone games is Dokkan Battle, and something they've had in place for a while now is passive abilities.
Yeah.
So if certain requirements are met, you get a passive buff. It can vary depending on what you're doing, and I think something like that could seriously benefit in a game like Destiny. And also, I'm going to very, very quickly backtrack about what I said about the fact, Bungie, are you listening? I do actually want to say I feel like Bungie are listening to the community.
Oh yeah.
You know, we've moaned about trials. They've given us trials. We've said we are fed up of Menagerie ripoffs. They worked on that. Do you know what? I didn't actually get around to answering your question, Dutch. What they did with Legendary Sundial is what needed to be done with Vex Offensive.
Yeah.
When we got onto Inattempt, it felt different. There were new mechanics. And the main thing about Legend Sundial that surpassed to Legend Vex Offensive is that it did not have the no-win protection. If you didn't fill up that bar by the end of your 3 rounds, boop, get back up to orbit.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Like so the first time we went in, we were off by a hairpin. Like seriously, a cool breeze could have filled that gap. And when we got thrown up to orbit, we're like, oh shit, is there a timer on it? No, it couldn't be a timer. 21 minutes, 34 seconds is a really weird timer to have. And then we worked out what it was. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I actually like that. I like that a lot. The fact that, you know, Menagerie was great for what it was, and it was amazing. It was the first time we'd had anything like it.
Yeah.
But that no-use protection kind of took away from it a bit, especially when you moved up into the legend category.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely caught me off guard the first time we did it too. This thing happened, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then I realized, like, "Oh, you got to be faster, and you got to work as a team, and you got to make sure you're focusing, you know, the champions and whatnot."
Yeah, and it requires some coordination. It requires you to actually play, not just hop in and kind of run around with your guns, and you'll make it there eventually. You know, I like that.
Yeah,
if you're playing a legendary activity, that's how it should be.
Exactly. Vex Offensive had the same issue as Menagerie. It had that no-lose mechanic. You literally could not fail it. You could take as long as you wanted, as proven in DCW. Like, we would spend 2-3 hours in that final boss.
In Vex Offensive?
Trying to get kills. Yeah. Like,
hence we got the dub.
That, don't get me wrong. We killed, and we also died quite a bit. But it shouldn't be able to go on for 2 hours. There had to be a point where Bungie were like, why are these guys going for like 4 hours?
Yeah, they're like, we're getting weird game stats back here. What are they doing? They're hacking.
Like, there is no reason why that should take 4 hours. So why is there not a timer or some sort of mechanic on it that if you're taking too long or if you haven't managed it, get up, go.
Yeah,
fuel that jet back up to orbit.
Go run strike. That's what strikes are for. Go go play your strikes. Yeah, no, I
get up to orbit.
Yeah, fueling it to
orbit. Get on the wagon. Park your wagon in the back next time. All right.
Yeah, and you know, I'm glad that they did that, and I'm glad that they're listening. I'm glad that they're working on it, and I'm very glad that they're not afraid to say, "We did it wrong, but we're going to try and get it right."
Yeah,
because that's what I felt like the director's cut was. They addressed that, you know, it's not an evolving world. They addressed these things. They said, "Hey, you know what? We had a good idea. We didn't do it quite right. We're going to look at changing it." And that's what needs to be done. And they're balancing it out. They're balancing their abilities as well right now. I am not a good PvPer. I'm okay. Like, I'm a solid middle tier player.
Yep.
Right now, though, if I throw a Controverse hold on my Warlock, I will mess anybody up who looks the wrong way. And it shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't become a good player because I have an exotic and a handheld supernova.
Yeah.
I love the ability, but I don't think you should dominate the way that it does. And the fact that they're balancing it, the fact that they're making it so that it's powerful but not broken, is what we need to see more of.
You just said something too a minute ago, and I kind of want to reiterate this a bit. They're making changes. Now, whether they're the right changes or the wrong changes, we don't know. But they are actively trying to make changes to better the game. And these changes don't necessarily have to be permanent. They could be season-based, or maybe after 2 seasons, they say, hey, we made a mistake. We should, you know, we don't want to leave these weapons behind, or hey, we've made some class ability changes, mistakes. They can go back and fix those things, but a lot of people are getting offended by that director's cut, or not offended, but a lot of people are complaining about it. They are making moves to change the game, to change the way how we play it, to make it better, to give us a better experience. Like I said, we don't know whether they're the right changes or the wrong changes. Only time will tell, but they are actively trying to make changes. You better be careful, Lana.
And I mean, like you said, like Bungie is listening. I mean, like you said, like you guys just informed me, I didn't even know that they made this change. They announced the power level in the artifact. The community was like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
12 hours later, sure.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah.
Done.
So
Not even a day, like you know what I mean. Not
they're
even
listening.
like, not even like our team's gonna like sit on it for a second. I feel like Luke Smith just walked in and was like, "Whose fucking idea was that, dude?" And he like had fired. Get the fuck out of the office. Like,
get Bob out of here.
yeah, get Bob out of here. That was his idea. Get the fuck. You see it? You see this?
Jim, you're promoted.
Yeah, Jim, you were the one who said the
That's
community was
that's
gonna
the
freak out.
thing.
Yeah, get
When
the
they're
fuck out.
dev testing it, they're probably running around with identical power characters, or maybe 1 or 2 power difference. They're not going to see the difference to somebody who's just spent the past 90 days in lost sectors,
Yeah.
bumping themselves up to God knows what freaking level,
Just to go
so
in
that
there
they
and
just
wreck
look at you the
trials.
wrong way and you're dead.
Yeah.
I
One
felt
shot.
the back end of that. I was late on the grind this season. I jumped into the first Iron Banner, and I was, I want to say I was like 965, right? And I'm going up against people who are 999 in the first Iron Banner.
Yeah.
I'm there unloading. I put 3 pumps at close range into this guy. He walked it off and slapped me.
And a lot
I
of
was
that had
dead.
to do with the dawning too, because people were able to just farm XP by baking
cookie-
cookies
yeah, the
and
cookie
delivering them
farm.
around the tower.
And now with the fractal line that just happened, all those people that are like 700,000 just turn it in time lost weapon bounties.
Yeah.
There are scripts. I know people were using scripts on PC.
Yep.
You could run a script and it would turn them all in or do the bounties, turn them all, like turn in
And
the
delete
fractal
them
line,
from
delete
your-
the bounties. And the whole thing would just script. You leave it on overnight and
Yep.
you'd gain like a couple power levels overnight.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And I don't think you should just give away power so freely. For me, it was a great thing because I was late on the grind.
And it's
I was
fun.
able
It's
to-
fun for the community to be like, oh, we
I
have
was
1
able
week
to
to
have-
farm as much
as long
XP as we can.
as long as it doesn't make major changes in things like Pinnacle, like Iron Banner or
Trials.
Trials specifically. Like
And
even in
I
Iron
think
Banner,
that's
like
why
whatever,
they
you know
put
what I
it
mean?
at the end of the season because, I mean, realistically, they had 1 Iron Banner in the middle of it. And we hadn't even built up enough fractaline at that point, unless you were hardcore saving from day 1. You hadn't built up enough fractaline to be a ridiculous amount of power above from just simply pushing A a couple of times. All right, it was a lot of times, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad, and you know, it's let's be realistic here. There are about 3 guns in the game right now. I actually want for use. The rest I just want for collection, and I feel a lot of people do the same. A new gun right now is to pick up to fill that collection slot, to vault it, dismantle it, whatever. It's done. It's not going to get used, and the new system is going to change that. It's going to reshape that.
Yeah, no, I agree. The computer's about to turn off. About to cut the feed.
Is it?
Yeah, I forgot. I plugged the TV in and unplugged the computer. And I forgot.
We almost lost the feed.
Oh, we're in. Is it charging? Is that light on?
Oh, we got Ghost out there watching now. So who do we got out there watching right now? We got Ghost, Nintendo.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on the season. Hey, number one thing? We'll do it here too, but everyone in the audience too. What was your favorite thing about Season of Dawn and your least favorite thing about Season of Dawn? We'll go through it. And Afrobot.
So Afrobot, we talked about. I think one of your favorite things was the corridors. It seemed there was a lot of lore involved there. What was your least favorite thing about the season, if anything?
So I think I'd have to have 2 answers: one from a lore perspective, and then one from like a gaming perspective. So from a lore perspective, I love the information you learn. I'm not a big fan of them. Double backing on themselves about the FOMO. You either do it or you don't, and because that affected the lore as well. So literally, I don't know if you've seen, but next season, if you pick up Bastion on another character and complete Bastion, it will give you all 19 lore pages of Phoenix and the Pigeon. Just like that. And they're going. I literally spent countless hours solving it, and 4 hours in the actual corridors doing it right.
Yeah.
For you to just go, there you go, nice Prezi.
Yeah.
From a gamer perspective, Legend Sundial on the nail, absolutely.
Yeah.
That if you're going to do seasonal content, I get that you're limited with what you can do. It's got to go. It can't be too painful. That is how it should have been done. It wasn't underwhelming. It wasn't the underwhelming mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And we were very, I mean, we talked about it on the show. I know you watch a lot of the shows. We talked about how Undying Mind just felt like, what? Like,
You changed the boss. Not
They,
even the
they were like, yo, fuel.
Yeah, they did.
Fuel.
They did.
Yeah, sorry, it's
And,
done.
you know,
That was it.
I'm sure that you're familiar with this too. Just I don't know why this just popped in my mind. Back before Shadowkeep came out, they said that they wanted season 1 to flow into season 2. Then by season 3, or not season 3, but season 10, sorry, season 3 of this year, that things would start to get a little bit crazier, and then they would head into like the final chapter of the year, where it would all come to a close. So I think this season 10, is going to be a big one. I think we should see a lot of content in this one, and then next season they're going to kind of wrap the story up for the year. So hopefully we see a lot of that this season. I want to see what they have, because like I said earlier in this episode of the show, Season of the Undying kind of piggybacked off of Shadowkeep a lot. Like if you remove Shadowkeep from the equation, Season of Undying really had nothing to it. It was really bare bones.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm sure they played it that way.
But yeah, maybe because they knew we were getting the Shadowkeep content, then they could spend not that much time and spend more time on Season of Dawn and see like the other seasons. You know what I mean? Like they knew we were going to have all the Shadowkeep content to hold us over, so we don't need. Do they need to spend all the efforts on that just for that to be deleted compared to like now when we're getting seasons? Like
I think Season of the Undying was definitely lacking content, and it did piggyback, but it was a case of. The first time they released an expansion with a major expansion at the same time. Yep. So these two are coming in like this, knowing the next season they were going to be intersected and going into one.
Yeah. And it was their first one. You know what I mean? Like we got to remember that they're probably still figuring shit out over there. You know what I mean? They drop Activision and now they're like trying to figure out how to make all this shit work. You know what I mean? They're going to get better season after season after season with their workflow and efficiency. You know what I mean?
I think my only real honest criticism with Season of the Undying is just how little effort I felt was put into to the Undying Mind. I don't know if you actually got hit, but those seeking harpy things that it fired had a name tag to a different boss. Like that was how little effort had got put into it. They were literally just copied the script and popped it on there. Didn't even bother changing the name. It was the boss from the Menagerie actually. The legendary Menagerie.
I didn't notice that. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's how little effort put in, and I wasn't a fan of that. But they picked that up this season. They dropped the ball, they picked it up, and they pushed on through.
Well, you know what you do when you pick the ball up after it's been dropped.
You yeet it across for the Kobe.
You run with it, baby. So hopefully that's what they do. Hopefully they run with it this season. And
yeah, my favorite thing for me, I really liked the community events. I think they killed it with Corridors of Time and the Emporium. I think like for the events, I think they were great. Brought people together. Like Corridors of Time was the craziest thing I've seen in Destiny.
It might be one of the biggest things in like any game.
Nuts.
I think the last time community banded together like this was Niobe Labs.
Yeah.
100%.
And so to see them do that.
To that point, my least favorite thing of the season was the rewards or result of completing those, like
the quarters
of completing the 2 events, because it's like my thing is like if you're gonna give us something dope like that and we're gonna spend all this time and you're gonna have all like so great, and then all you're doing is giving us like the Bastion quest a week early when we were gonna have it anyway.
The reward
in your thing,
for that
like
was
you
bringing the community together. That was the ultimate.
Yeah,
reward.
I mean I get it, but like also come on, like give me something.
Yeah,
like give us something for our efforts. Like yeah, like it's dope, but it would have been sick if like you said you didn't get the lore or you didn't get something. You know what I mean? Like the people that put the work in on that and spent the 2 weeks doing it should get something.
Yeah.
Not just everyone just gets it for whatever. And it was inevitable. We're going to get it anyway. Same thing with Emporium. Like, I liked it. It was cool. But, like, at the end of the day, we're just getting trials next season, which we're going to get regardless of that. So I'd like to see a bigger payoff for these great events. Like, I want to see something like
even
give
if
us
they
a sick title, like,
that.
that we're going to actually get. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Give us something. Give us, like, not just –
and hold on. Speaking of titles.
Because they're for nothing. You're going to get this content anyway.
Before we forget, we talked to Afro Bob before the show. We were checking levels. He has a challenge for us. You want to let them know what you've picked up on and what the challenge is?
Yeah, so in the trailer, one of the Bungie devs who were playing, who have been recorded, has a title associated with Trials of Osiris. It is called Flawless. Now, you boys have been going flawless for 2 weeks, for 2 seasons. Next season, I want to see you go flawless. I want to see at least one of you with a flawless title by the end of next season.
One of them, both.
Yeah,
both
definitely
at
both
least.
of us. If one of us gets it and the other one
Without the
doesn't,
other,
we're canceling the
The
show.
show's canceled. You're getting kicked and someone else is coming in. Going flawless with just Decon. Going flawless with just Dutch.
Going flawless with Dutch and Thad. You can sit at the producer's table.
Either that,
Sit over there for a
that,
season. Think about what you've
but
done.
you're going to have to rename it to Missed Out on Flawless.
Yeah.
With
Going not flawless. So also
flawlessly dying.
So also while we're on the subject of going flawless, Decon and I, with the helps of Skills, Ryan, Backslash, and Nintendo, we did our first flawless Garden of Salvation this week.
Wagon, baby!
Which was pretty huge for us.
Yeah.
So
we've been going at it for about a week. That was
It
our
was-
third night at going at it. We had some rough shots.
yeah, Ryan dying was huge.
yeah, check out-
and our fail.
Nintendo, our social media extraordinaire in the Iron Clan, he put together an awesome edit of Ryan dying. A lot of our hardships throughout the thing. So check out his Instagram, Nintendo Warrior. If you guys,
What the M is.
The M is from Maryland.
yep,
That's the
Instagram.
410 is from
410.
Maryland. Natty Bow is something that, well, I don't really drink it unless, it's the only thing really to
But it's
drink.
a big like Maryland thing.
yeah.
It's that, or it's foreshadowing of the new title of Missing Out on Flawless with Decon and Dutch.
Or we could flip it upside down and make it a W for wagon.
Wagon, baby. But yeah, no, but that's for. But yeah, we went flawless, super sick. Check out Nintendo's whatever, along with I think Backslash maybe posted something.
Yeah, Backslash Skills.
All the social medias you guys
Yep.
should follow anyway. But
And then-
there's some funny clips on there about our struggles, but we finally did it. So
Before
which
we
was
get
good.
out of here, Afro Bob, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Is there anything else that you want to cover? And then do you want to let everybody know where they can find you on social media and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, so right now you can hit me up on Instagram /AfroBob1, Twitter on @AfroLaw, and very soon coming to a sub box near you,
Ooh.
AfroBob Gaming on YouTube.
Let's
Nice,
go.
nice.
Let's go.
Well, let us know when you do
I've got
go
a
live
couple
on
more things I
YouTube.
got to set up first, but fingers crossed, touch
And
wood.
Afro, are you in? We started a Discord. I don't know if you heard. It's just like a community Discord. Are you in? Is he in there yet?
No, we'll have to send him an invite.
So right now I've got like so much on my plate right now. As soon as I've got a little bit cleared off, because right now I've been slipping a little bit in some of the communities and
Yeah.
my clan right now. So once I've got some stuff cleared off my plate, I'm going to be hopping on in there.
Perfect. We'd
And,
love to give you a lore master title.
Yeah, and
Trying to get some of
also,
that going.
just to get your like, if you're going to be doing some YouTube, we'd like to do all we can. I just, thank
Yeah.
you.
What are you planning on doing on YouTube? Like lore stuff? Or?
So it's the plan is going to be 2 channels. One is going to be lore on a variety of games, including Destiny, Warframe, Ark Survival Evolved, just to name a few.
Nice.
And what's the name of that channel? Afro the Lore Master? That's what it should be.
So that one's going to be Afro Lore.
Okay. Perfect.
To go with the Twitter handle. And then Afro Bob Gaming, I am going to be covering some Destiny stuff, Red Dead with my lady, actually.
Nice.
And also some mobile gaming, including Dokkan Battle. And as of 2 hours from now, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross is coming out on Global, and I will be hitting that. For anybody who does play those 2, I am completely free to play. So everything that I do will be from grinding or from free to play events. I don't put a penny in, so any suggestions that I put in will be based on free to play units.
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys. So
Yeah, everybody give Afro Bob
hit him
a
with a
follow.
sub, let him know,
Hit
yeah.
him with a sub.
Okay.
As soon as you get your YouTube channel up, let us know, and we'll definitely do what we can to help you.
We'll post it out. Let
You're a
everyone-
genuinely nice guy.
We love
Afro
having
Bob-
you on the show.
Yeah, Afro Bob is a renegade, one of the many nice guys over there in the Renegade clan. So, we appreciate
And,
you. And honestly, we should have him on once a season. Like, we should do a lore episode every season because I think we cover a lot of the stuff that we do. Obviously trying to do flawless raids and challenges and PvP activities, but we don't really have a lot of knowledge about the things that you have, and I know there's people out there that watch the show that obviously probably.
I'm super interested in it.
Yeah, I love having you on
because
because your insight and depth of knowledge is so overwhelming, and you're a genuinely nice guy, dude. You and I have shared messages on Discord before. I always enjoy talking to you, and it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. You're a good guy, and everybody needs to follow this guy because he's got it going on up in here with the
intellectual chariot has arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget the wagon. I got the chariot.
That's
exactly,
right,
exactly.
That's right. Fuck yeah. So awesome, man.
But
thanks for hopping in with us.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. It has been a pleasure yet again.
Yes,
face reveal this time. Last time I was voice only.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you
thanks
do
for
follow me
taking
on
time out of your
Instagram,
busy life to come join us, man.
it was my pleasure, honestly.
We'll see you again for sure next time.
What
YouTube?
Can you give us your We're gonna put your Instagram and everything in the chat.
Yeah. What else did you want to plug? Lauren's typing it all in for you.
And it's at AfroLaw on Twitter.
At AfroLaw on Twitter.
That one's literally just been set up. Well, I think I set it up a few weeks ago. I haven't put any activity up. It's going to be in sync with the YouTube channels. On Instagram, as soon as I've got YouTube set up, that is going to be the place to find it.
Perfect. Awesome.
Also, shameless sub. I couldn't get away with shameless plug. I couldn't not do it. But if you want to check out the Renegade community, go to www.rise-of-the-renegades.co.uk. We have all our social medias, and there is a permanent invite to the Discord up in there, as well as what we're about and our weekly activities.
Perfect.
A big shout out to Freaky Rapster for help for setting that up for us.
Oh, is that all that live right now? I know he was working hard on that.
That is a live website right now that he did off his own back for the Renegades community.
Fuck yeah.
It was like we were blown back because he was like, "Oh, I'm messing around with it," and then he was like, "Hey guys, we're live with this actual handle." So massive shout out to him.
Yeah, dude, he's the man. He's big fan.
Yeah, so everybody show your Renegades love out there. That's important to us. We'll get in there. Big place in our heart for sure, always.
So cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on. We'll see you next time, no doubt.
Yep, I look forward to it. I'll see you next season, and I'll see you in the live chat.
Afro Bob, dude, thanks for coming on,
Peace
man.
out, brother.
We enjoy having you. It means a lot.
Thank you very
to us.
much. You take it easy, guys.
All right, brother.
Ta-da.
What a great guy.
Yeah, dude.
Love that guy.
Literally the man. Let me turn this TV down so I'm getting echo.
Hopefully you guys watching out there enjoyed that as much as we did, because again, lore is something that we don't really know a lot about. I try to dabble in it a little bit, just the basics, but there's people out there. It's a whole nother world out there of gamers that just choose to play the game a little bit differently than the rest of us. And there's no right or wrong way to play Destiny, man. It's all all love.
And dude, like I wish I knew more about that stuff. Like I wish. I'm not really I'm not going to go through and read it all, to be honest. Like that's just not like my thing. But I wish there was more.
We can correct it.
I just spelled Lore.
He's in there.
L-O-R-E.
L-O-R-E. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Afro Lore.
Was it Afro Bob Lore?
No, Afro Lore.
I think it was just Afro Lore. He can Afro Bob. If you're out there, go ahead and put it in there.
He's watching. He can post it in. But yeah, dude. Yeah, super cool. Always having him on. Lots of insight. And just he knows a lot about the game too. Like, nice guy. Good to just like chat about stuff. He has a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
When you play a lot of other games too, it helps. You know what I mean? Like when you have like other game experience, you can kind of trade out that stuff.
So Nintendo said we have our own Bife.
Bife?
Yeah.
What is a Bife?
Bife is my name is Bife. He's like the lore guy. Does a lot of lore videos.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Personal Bife, baby.
Let me call him the Bife. The wagon, the intellectual chariot.
Yeah.
So hell yeah.
So
hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We always enjoy having him on.
Yeah. Next week we have our homie. Hey, don't touch that. Yeah.
Villainous on.
We have Mr. Villainous on.
We're gonna be going over everything. Like this was kind of our recap for this season of Dawn. Did anyone say anything? I haven't been like keeping up, but any like comments on the season? What you guys liked? What they didn't like? I don't want to like not miss anything if someone said something.
Yeah. I think everyone's just been enamored with the
knowledge.
Knowledge. So
but yeah, we're gonna be. This was kind of our recap for this season. Next week, we're gonna be going over everything you guys need to know for trials. It's gonna be the day before the season comes out, so make sure you tune in. Oh, we should go over some of the stuff they need to do before
next season.
Before next season too.
So,
'cause it'll be too late.
number
you have a
one
week,
on-
baby, to prepare.
Number one on my list of things to prepare for going into next season is farming Nightfall ordeals at the master level. Lana, be careful over there with those cores.
This is the highest you're gonna be.
For a while, yeah. I mean,
And we don't know how the loot system is going to change with the entry of the Grandmaster ranks. Like,
yeah.
they could do us dirty, and they could move the.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
What'd you
Sorry.
do? They could move. Key. Oh.
Sorry, Lana's going crazy out here.
Yeah, it's not.
But yeah, so definitely be doing that.
Because the way that they're going to do the Grandmaster, they could move all of the rewards like Ascendant Shards, the exotics, to that level because they could just be pushing back the power creep, basically.
Yeah.
So this could be the easiest time in all of year 3 to farm Ascendant Shards that we're ever going to get.
Bless you.
So be sure that you guys are farming those up this week. Like, get a group, go through there, farm 10 up. Make sure you got like 10 Ascendant Shards. Make sure you got max everything. Because with the changes to the being able to change the affinity, you're going to be able to use the like switch all your gear over and then masterwork it so you have all the different sets. Like, you're going to want to have plenty of materials so that you can build those sets out. Like, it's going to be the most customizable part of this that we've had thus far in year 3.
Yeah.
So make sure you're doing that. Other thing, if you guys haven't yet, I know most people have already done this, but with the time lost weapon bounties.
All right, so time out before we get into this, because there's a lot of, I'm not going to call out people out there, YouTubers, but there's a lot of false information going out there on YouTube right now. Okay, I'm not going to say names of people.
But we watch the big streamers just like you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there telling you what guns you need to farm for before the end of the season, and they're telling you like Steel Feather Repeater, which could that be good in the auto rifle meta?
No,
Yes,
with
it
the
could.
grenade launcher.
Yeah, Martyr's Retribution. Okay, so Steel Feather Repeater, yes, I could see that falling into meta with the auto rifle buff. But Martyr's Retribution was one of the guns. If you go back to one of the beginning episodes that we did on this season, I was hyped on that gun. I was like, Martyr's Retribution is going to be the best gun, blah, blah, blah. It's literally garbage, okay? Like, is it situational? Yes, but like,
It's not your top 3.
Not one of these guys said Traveler's Judgment. None of them were saying Breach. Line in the Sand.
Line in the Sand.
Like
That's
that,
the number 1 gun you should be farming.
Like, if you don't have a good rapid hit firing line in the sand right now, you need to be getting that gun.
Yep.
Traveler's Judgment, if they're going to be a sidearm meta next season, which we're already kind of seeing now, that's a gun you need to get. I mean, I don't know, dude. A lot of these guys, I feel like, like one of the guys was even like, go spend all your silver dust or
bright dust,
all your bright dust on the boons that help you get upgrade materials. Like,
upgrade modules.
Upgrade modules. You get them from the season
ever
pass.
Spend your bright dust on upgrade modules.
Yeah, don't listen to
this nonsense.
Don't listen to him, okay? He's telling you to spend your hard-earned bright dust on upgrade modules.
No, you only spend the bright dust on the sauce, okay, guys? Like, we're out here trying to get that wagon status up. We're fueling the jet with bright dust. You're not buying upgrade modules, all right?
You can buy upgrade modules from the gunsmith with
planetary
materials that you can turn in your shards for. Like
spider materials. Like, you can't buy fucking bright dust with your legendary shards from Spider, okay? Until you can do that, bright dust is the sacred holy grail.
Yeah, save your bright dust.
You buy the dopest of sauces. So that way, when a new dope emote comes out where you're spiking down the tombstone on your enemies and trials, you can buy that. Okay?
You go to the grocery store to get honey mustard, all right? You don't need to go take your gold doubloons that you harvested from a pirate ship crash and take them to the bank to turn them in.
Change under your bed, okay? In your couch. You don't give away grandma's pearls for some honey mustard out here.
Exactly.
Okay? God, goodness gracious.
You don't buy Dr. Pepper.
Range meters off the charts.
You don't buy Dr. Pepper with rubles, okay? You buy it with.
No, yeah, you do. Anyway, you're gonna want to be getting those guns. If you want a full list of them, ask us and we'll let you know.
Hold on, Nintendo. Did you just say more like line in the trash?
Dude, you are not smart. Nintendo is not smart. I just plugged him on his at least he's good at social medias because his time lost weapon bounty info is not good. All right.
He said more like line in the trash. Hate that gun. Traveler's Judgment and Breach Light. Hashtag that. Hashtag heartbroken.
Drink some Dr. Pepper, dude. Like,
Nintendo, you need to drink a Dr. Pepper.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know, you can buy the Time Lost Weapon Bounties at the Obelisk in the Tower. Max it out so you can't buy anymore. Turn in 400 fractal line, and boom, boom, you've got your you've got them all completed. And you can farm guns that way right now. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that yet and gotten all your god rolls, make sure you do that this week because you're gonna be missing out. All those guns.
In all reality, if you want to do something productive instead of like looking for one gun, just get a god roll or two of each weapon. You don't need to masterwork them. Just get 1 or 2 rolls. Look at Light G or Little Light on your phone.
Something decent. Something usable.
Yeah,
So
and then just save it because you never know when something could fall into meta. And really, like if you want to know the proest of tips, you should have 1 or 2 of every gun with a couple different rolls. Lana, can you not?
Mostly the god ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I mean, that's
start saving up your bounties. I'm already starting to save bounties on all 3 of my characters.
Bounties.
But only XP bounties. So like the Saint 14 bounties and the Tower.
Well, those are all going to
bounties.
disappear anyway. So like they're going to disappear out of your inventory.
Oh, they're gonna
at the new season.
Yeah. So what I've been doing,
14 Obelisk bounties and Time Lost.
I'm gonna play some Gambit tonight. I played some Crucible last night. Did some Vanguard strikes. Make sure the bounties you're saving have XP. It'll say XP and then like a little green plus. Those are the ones you want. I'm gonna stack them on all 3 characters.
Don't be turning them in. Unless you're not max season level, which you guys should all be at this point. Don't turn any of those in because you're just wasting it.
Yeah, so that way
stack it up so you got like 30.
That way when next season starts, like I'm hopping right on my Warlock, turning them all in, hopping on my Hunter, turn them all in, hopping on my Titan, turn them all in.
The main key for this, we're gonna get into it next week with Mr. Villainous, but the artifact mods are still going to be a play from what we know in trials.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get those at level 12.
Yeah. So when that first Friday comes out with trials, you need to have your artifact leveled up to 12.
Yeah.
So you can have access to all those mods
and everything.
because you're really going to be playing
those
yourself.
last ones like Solar Plexus, or they had the Arc one. Like there's gonna most likely
what was
there's
the Arc
gonna
one
be
called from last season.
Arc Battery.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a melee one, most likely Void. So if you
so far we've had Arc, we've had Solar, and then
it's most likely gonna be Void.
Yeah.
We would assume if it keeps on trend. But there's gonna be some really powerful mods that you're gonna want, like all the rifle loaders, like all the sniper loaders, all like the enhanced, you know what I mean? All that stuff is gonna be the unflinching that was this season. Like all those are going away, and there's gonna be new ones that are gonna be major key in the mod
hitting
game.
12 before trials comes out is
you have 3 days.
Said, we'll have Villainous on next week, so we'll be touching on that.
You're gonna have 3 days to just get it. So
yeah, those first 3 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
and then Friday's game.
You got to put in a good hardcore grind if you're going to be one to hit trials.
We're going for the flawless type.
And you know these are the things that are going to separate you in trials from the.
Ryan shits on Tuesday. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're already aware. We got our live schedule down. I'm locked in. I'm going flying. I'm literally going to be flying through the air.
Yep.
On Tuesday, and then after I fly, I'm fueled up. I'm coming back. We're gonna get on. So
also we are currently at 138 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and that means we're just 12 away from 150.
At 150, we're gonna do a giveaway.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do a double giveaway.
Maybe
we'll give away something crazy.
Maybe we'll.
Yeah, Lana's hyped. Lana, get hyped.
We got, like we said, we got a bunch of this sweet Destiny stuff. So we're gonna give some of this stuff away. We got some extra.
We got tons of cool shit. We got we got a Warlock out here.
We are going to give away some cool stuff.
Dude, this Warlock,
we give it to our fans.
This Warlock has an old Dead Orbit scout rifle from D1, hung jury, and has this, what was it called?
I forget. It was the Taken King gun.
The Taken King scout rifle that took your health away, but you could shoot it endlessly.
Yeah, it was sick. And it did extra damage when you were out of bullets.
Yeah, when your health got low.
You'd stand in those wells where you didn't take any damage.
Yeah, we got a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some sick giveaways. So make sure you guys tell your friends. Tell your friends to subscribe.
Tell your girlfriend.
We'll be getting.
Tell your wife. Hide your kids.
Yeah.
Touch of Malice. Yeah, that's what it was.
Touch of Malice. There you go, baby.
Good job, Nintendo.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't know shit about time lost weapon bounties, but he at least knows what the Touch of Malice is. Okay? Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Like I said, we're grinding out here. We're gonna start doing. Welcome to the new studio.
Yeah, hope you guys like the setup.
We're gonna start shooting some new vids in here. Hopefully start bringing some more content. I know we've been saying that for a couple months, but we've been busy and it's been hard.
You've been busy.
We've been setting up and breaking this down every
week. It's an hour,
every
like an
week.
hour and a half to set up and
So
like
now we're
45 minutes to
knocking
break down.
and hopefully we can just shoot more videos in here. So that's kind of the goal. So
Yeah, Crucible School or like Crucible University or Trials University
coming.
or
it's
I don't
coming.
know. We haven't really figured out a
what
game
we're gonna
plan,
call it, but we want to make everyone have the flawless title with us. We want everyone in the chat to have flawless titles. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks again, Afro Bob. For
12 viewers
us.
away from the giveaway. So if you guys want to share with your friends,
subscribe it
get
up,
here.
tell your friends, let them know what we're working with. Also, once again, we've started the Discord. If you're not in there yet, be sure to invite your friends, invite everyone in there. We're trying to just get everyone together so that when you get online and you want to do something, you just type it in there and you have people to play with.
And also,
That's like
there's a bunch of different clans in there. Our clan, we joined Iron Supremacy. We're recruiting right now. So if you're looking for a good clan of active gamers, if you've never done a raid before and you want to learn, as long as you're not a douchebag, welcome to the squad.
Welcome to the wagon.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got and the Discord. The Discord is clan, whatever exclusive or not exclusive.
Our 4.0 Discord is not. You can be in any clan. You don't have to join our clan.
It doesn't matter. You could not be in any clan. You can just roll in there and you just want to have a good time and play with some homies.
You don't even have to play. You can just chat. You can watch our videos. If
it's just a good spot for people to hang out.
If you join our Discord and you are a YouTuber or you have Twitch and you want us to share your content on our channel, we have a spot to share your content. We're partnered obviously with Nintendo, Backslash, and Skills. Like those are our homies now, 4.0 Gaming. So this is just the beginning, and we hope to bring a lot.
See you all on the wagon.
This isn't the beginning of the show, but this is the beginning of a
lot more to come.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just getting started.
Yep. So we're paired up with a bunch of great dudes. And you know what I like about those dudes, honestly?
They all drink Dr. Pepper.
1, they drink Dr. Pepper. 2, they're good at the game. And 3, they don't. We don't take it too seriously. When it's time to get down and dirty and do the flawless runs.
Till I do take it seriously.
When it's time to do the flawless runs, it's time to do the flawless runs, and everyone kind of keeps their mouth shut and rolls with it. But then when it's time to goof off and have a good time, that's what we're doing. So
that's right.
We're keeping it fueled. Make sure you follow those guys though. Backslash just did a 24-hour stream.
Super dope.
Yeah, where
that's a long time.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it, but he was looking kind of tired there towards the end. But well, producers got to use the restroom, so we're gonna wrap it up. Lana's kind of getting out of control.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Drop a like for us on the episode too. Helps more people find it.
Yeah, Lana, make sure you say goodbye to everybody.
What's up? Fuel the jet, Lana. Fuel the jet, Lana. Fuel the jet. We'll see you guys.
Peace, guys. Love y'all. Mwah. Thanks for watching. And Afro Bob, love you too, buddy.
Peace out, dogs. Good job, Lana.
She's blowing the kiss at the end.
Lauren.